In a world that celebrates speed action and constant motion, we often overlook the quiet power of stillness. From an early age, we're taught that success means moving fast, speaking up, and staying ahead of everyone else. The constant rush of life fills our days with tasks, noise, and distractions, leading us to believe that power comes from being in perpetual motion. But what if true strength is not found in speed, but in the ability to pause, reflect, and respond with clarity? Stillness is often misunderstood. Many equate stillness with laziness or weakness. They think that if you're not constantly doing something, you're wasting time. But stillness isn't about inactivity. It's about creating space to think, to breathe, and to connect with yourself. It's about mastering your internal world, your thoughts, emotions, and impulses. When you learn to master this internal landscape, you gain control over your reactions and begin to move through life with purpose and direction. Real strength doesn't shout or force its way through life. True strength radiates from within. It's the kind of strength that comes from awareness, from understanding how to pause and reflect before reacting to external pressures. This is the essence of clarity, being able to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Most people spend their lives reacting to external stimuli, to people, to stress, to fear. They rush through their days, moving quickly, speaking faster, and thinking the least. It's easy to get caught up in this whirlwind of constant activity. We think that by staying busy, we are being productive. But in reality, all we're doing is filling the space with noise, both external and internal. The true power comes not from filling every moment with activity, but from learning to be still. Stillness doesn't mean doing nothing. It's not about avoiding life or retreating from it. It's about taking a moment to stop, to breathe, and to center yourself. In those brief moments of stillness, you find clarity. Your nervous system calms down, and your racing thoughts begin to slow. This allows you to observe your thoughts and emotions without being overwhelmed by them. You begin to recognize what is truly important and what is just noise. The Stoics, ancient philosophers known for their discipline and self-control, understood the power of stillness. They called this state apatheia, not apathy or indifference, but freedom from being ruled by emotion. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most composed Stoics, famously wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This wisdom teaches us that true strength comes not from controlling everything around us, but from mastering our internal world. It's about choosing how to respond to life's challenges, not reacting impulsively to them. Stillness is a form of mental discipline. It's about cultivating the ability to pause and reflect before you act. When you pause, you allow yourself the space to respond intentionally, not react out of habit or emotional impulse. In that pause, you find clarity. You begin to understand what matters most and what is merely a distraction. This is how you can navigate the complexities of life with calm, clarity, and purpose. Many people mistakenly believe they need more motivation, more information, or more external input to succeed. They chase after new strategies, tools, or advice, thinking that if they have more of these, they will finally achieve their goals. But what they really need is mental discipline, the kind of discipline that allows them to stop, reflect, and choose their response thoughtfully. True discipline is not about pushing yourself harder. It's about learning to sit with yourself, to be present, and to respond from a place of inner clarity and strength. The world constantly pushes us to move faster, do more, and keep up with the pace of others. But the most powerful people are not the ones who are always running or shouting the loudest. They are the ones who have mastered the art of stillness. They know that true power doesn't come from acting quickly, but from acting with intention. They've learned to pause, to breathe, and to reflect before they make decisions. This practice of stillness allows them to make wiser choices with more clarity and less emotional reactivity. Stillness is not a retreat from the world. It is an engagement with it. By learning to pause in the midst of chaos, we create space to respond with awareness and clarity. This practice doesn't require hours of meditation or complete silence. It only takes a few minutes. Just 5 minutes of quiet reflection can reset your mind, calm your nervous system, and allow you to move through life with more intentionality and less stress. Real strength comes from the ability to be present. It's about being aware of your thoughts and emotions without being controlled by them. It's about making choices that align with your values, not reacting impulsively to external pressures. When you learn to pause to reflect and to respond with clarity, you begin to live with more purpose and direction. You stop being swept away by the rush of life and start living on your own terms. In a world that celebrates speed, stillness offers a powerful counterbalance. It's the quiet strength that allows you to navigate the noise and chaos with grace. Stillness doesn't mean inaction. It means being fully present and aware in every moment. It's about observing without judgment, responding with clarity, and choosing to live intentionally, not reactively. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by the noise of the world, take a moment to pause. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and simply be present with yourself. In that moment, you'll find clarity, you'll find control, and in that control, you'll discover a quiet strength that can guide you through any challenge with purpose and grace. Once you begin to grasp the importance of stillness and awareness, the next step is to integrate these practices into your everyday life. It's one thing to understand the power of stillness in theory, but it's another thing entirely to make it a habit that shapes how you move through the world. The key to transforming stillness from a fleeting practice into a daily way of life is to create small, consistent opportunities for reflection and mental discipline throughout your day. One of the most effective ways to integrate stillness into your routine is by intentionally pausing before you act. This might sound simple, but in the midst of a busy, fast-paced world, it's easy to forget. But even a few seconds of intentional pause can make all the difference. Whether you're about to engage in a conversation, make a decision, or respond to an emotional trigger, stop and take a moment to breathe. This pause gives you the space to check in with yourself, to notice your thoughts and emotions, and to choose how you want to respond rather than react. This practice of pausing doesn't mean that you have to spend hours in reflection. It doesn't require you to meditate for long stretches or retreat from the world. It's about creating small windows of stillness throughout your day. You can start by taking a 5-minute break in the morning to breathe deeply. Observe your thoughts and focus on the present moment. This could be a few minutes in the car before going into work, a pause before picking up your phone, or even before starting a meeting. Over time, these small pauses will become automatic, and they will help you maintain a sense of clarity throughout your day. Another way to integrate stillness is by practicing mindful observation. This is a form of awareness where you pay attention to the present moment without judgment. It's about noticing the world around you, the way the sunlight hits the leaves, the sounds of nature, the energy in a room, or the small gestures in a conversation. By simply observing without the need to label or analyze, you allow your mind to become sharper and more attuned to the subtleties of life. This practice trains your mind to stay present and aware, rather than getting lost in thought or swept up in external distractions. For instance, during a conversation, instead of reacting immediately to what someone says, take a moment to listen deeply. Don't just hear the words. Tune into the energy, the underlying message, and your own emotional responses. This practice of deep listening not only strengthens your awareness, but also improves your relationships and communication. you'll find that you respond with more thoughtfulness and less emotional reactivity. It's also crucial to cultivate mental space during the day by reducing unnecessary distractions. In a world that's constantly pulling our attention in multiple directions, phone notifications, emails, social media, we often forget the power of simply being present. Try designating certain times in the day when you disconnect from external distractions. For example, you might choose to spend the first 10 minutes of your day in silence, free from any devices or outside noise. Or take a short walk without your phone, focusing on the sights, sounds, and sensations around you. These moments of silence help to clear the mental clutter and create a sense of balance and calm. Mindful movement is another great way to integrate stillness into your life. Movement doesn't always have to be fast or intense to be effective. Whether it's walking, yoga, or stretching, mindful movement can ground you and bring you into the present moment. The idea is to move with awareness, paying attention to your body and your breath, rather than rushing through your routine. When you focus on each step or each breath, you invite stillness into your body and mind. This also helps to release any tension or stress, leaving you feeling more centered and clear-headed. Stillness doesn't just mean being quiet. It also means being intentional with your time and energy. When you stop rushing from one task to the next, you begin to focus on what truly matters. You start to prioritize the activities and relationships that align with your values rather than just filling your schedule with noise. You learn to say no to things that drain your energy, and yes to what nurtures your mental and emotional well-being. This practice of intentionality requires awareness and discipline, but it's an essential part of mastering your inner world. Mindful breathing is a simple yet powerful tool to integrate stillness into your daily life. By paying attention to your breath, you can bring yourself back to the present moment anytime you feel overwhelmed or scattered. Deep, slow breaths activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which calms the body and mind, allowing you to think more clearly and respond with intention. The next time you feel stressed, take a moment to pause, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Breathe in slowly for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, and exhale for 6 counts. This simple practice will help you regain control over your thoughts and emotions, no matter the situation. The key to lasting change is consistency. Just like any habit, the practice of stillness requires ongoing effort. Start small, but be consistent. Over time, these moments of stillness will accumulate, and you'll notice a profound shift in how you approach life. You'll become less reactive and more aware. You'll learn to pause before you act, think before you speak, and move through the world with a quiet, unshakable confidence. Presence is the ultimate goal of this practice. When you learn to integrate stillness into your daily life, you create a sense of presence that extends into everything you do. You become fully engaged in the moment, whether you're at work, with family, or even just walking down the street. This presence allows you to make clearer decisions, form deeper connections, and experience life more fully. It's the foundation of true strength because it comes from within. You no longer need to rely on external validation or distraction to feel whole. You are enough just as you are, and your stillness is the source of your power. In a world that constantly pushes us to do more, be more, and achieve more, stillness offers a radical form of freedom. It's a way to regain control over your life, not by force, but by presence. The more you practice stillness and mental discipline, the more you'll find yourself moving through life with clarity and purpose. You'll stop reacting to the world around you and start responding with intention. And in doing so, you'll create a life that is not defined by noise, but by quiet strength, clear focus, and unwavering presence. As we have discussed throughout this series, stillness is not a passive retreat, but a powerful tool that can reshape your life. It offers a way to gain clarity, control your reactions, and ultimately make more intentional, purposeful decisions. But the true power of stillness goes beyond simply pausing in moments of stress. The real benefit comes when you use the practice of stillness to build resilience and create lasting mental mastery. This ability to stay grounded no matter what life throws your way is the essence of true strength. Resilience is the capacity to withstand adversity and bounce back stronger from life's challenges. It's the ability to remain calm, composed, and present even in the face of difficulties. Stillness is an essential component of resilience because it allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. When you cultivate the habit of pausing and observing, you are less likely to be overwhelmed by the emotional storms that life inevitably brings. In moments of stress or adversity, people often feel the urge to act quickly to push through their feelings or avoid them altogether. This reactive approach is natural, but leads to poor decision-making and burnout. Stillness teaches us to step back before we act, allowing us to acknowledge our emotions, observe the situation clearly, and then choose the best course of action. This pause is the moment of mental reset that separates us from the impulse to react mindlessly. When you consistently practice stillness, you strengthen your ability to deal with life's uncertainties. Instead of being swept up by every change or challenge, you develop an internal foundation that remains unshaken. Just as a tree's roots anchor it to the earth in the face of strong winds, stillness grounds you in the chaos of life. In this state of calm, you build the mental toughness necessary to face hardships and persevere through them. Another key aspect of resilience is adaptability. Life is unpredictable and circumstances are always shifting. Those who are able to navigate these changes with grace are often the ones who have mastered their internal world through stillness and awareness. When you practice stillness, you train your mind to be flexible, open to new perspectives, and able to pivot when necessary. Instead of clinging to rigid expectations or reacting with frustration when things don't go as planned, you become more accepting of the flow of life. This adaptability is a hallmark of emotional strength and resilience. Stillness also fosters emotional intelligence, which is essential for long-term resilience. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions as well as the emotions of others. In moments of stress, it's easy to be overwhelmed by our emotions, making it hard to think clearly and respond appropriately. But when we practice stillness, we become more aware of our emotional states, allowing us to recognize when we are feeling overwhelmed or triggered. By observing our emotions rather than being swept away by them, we can respond with greater composure and insight. This awareness also extends to how we interact with others. In conversations, especially difficult ones, stillness allows us to listen deeply and respond with empathy. We don't rush to judgment or become defensive. Instead, we create space for the other person's perspective and maintain our calm. This improves our relationships and helps us handle interpersonal challenges with greater ease. Through stillness and mental discipline, you also develop clarity of thought. In a world full of distractions and constant noise, it's easy to become mentally cluttered and unsure of what direction to take. The more you practice stillness, the more you will be able to cut through the noise and see things clearly. You'll stop wasting energy on unnecessary worries and focus on what truly matters. This clarity helps you make better decisions, both in your personal life and your career. Stillness and awareness can even improve decision-making. When you stop reacting and take the time to think carefully, you're more likely to make decisions based on long-term goals rather than short-term impulses. By consistently practicing stillness, you develop the ability to evaluate situations objectively, weighing the pros and cons, and making choices that align with your values. This approach leads to more thoughtful strategic actions rather than acting out of desperation or emotional overwhelm. The power of stillness isn't just about calming the mind in difficult situations. It's about long-term mental mastery. True mental mastery comes when you learn to control your internal state no matter the external circumstances. It's about becoming so skilled at managing your thoughts, and emotions, that you can approach every situation with grace, clarity, and confidence. The more you practice stillness, the more resilient and capable you become in all areas of your life. Building mental mastery requires consistency and patience. It's easy to be swayed by the pressures of modern life, and it's tempting to seek external solutions for inner peace. But the real transformation happens when you take ownership of your mental state, when you stop looking for quick fixes and start committing to the long-term practice of awareness and stillness. It's through this dedication that you will find true strength, not the kind that forces or pushes, but the kind that radiates from deep within. As you continue to integrate stillness into your daily life, remember that it's not about perfection. There will be moments when you feel overwhelmed, when your emotions get the best of you, or when life's challenges seem too great. But the beauty of stillness is that it's always there waiting for you to return. It doesn't matter how many times you get swept up by the noise. What matters is your ability to come back to the present, to pause, and to choose your response with clarity and intention. The more you practice stillness and mental discipline, the more you will cultivate an inner strength that is unshakable. You will become more resilient, more adaptable, and more in tune with your true self. You'll stop living reactively and start living intentionally. And in doing so, you will not only find peace, but also unlock your full potential, becoming the kind of person who moves through the world with purpose, clarity, and quiet power. The path to mental mastery and true strength is not loud or chaotic. It is the path of stillness, awareness, and discipline. It's about cultivating the ability to pause, reflect, and choose your response to life's challenges with clarity and intention. It's a practice that requires patience and dedication, but the rewards are profound. As you continue on this journey, you will find that the quiet strength you develop from within will help you navigate the complexities of life with grace, confidence, and resilience. By embracing stillness and mastering your mind, you can live a life of true power, not the kind that forces its way through the world, but the kind that flows naturally and confidently grounded in your own inner strength.